This may not be true for every constituency. A few candidates may win purely on the basis of money power and unfair means. A few candidates may win purely on the basis of money power or unfair means. But the overall verdict of a general election still reflects popular preference. That means some people in the elections may have won due to money power or due to unfair means, by using unfair means. But on the whole, if you see, the result of election is the verdict of the people. But the overall verdict of a general election still reflects popular reference. There are very few exceptions to this rule in the last 50 years in our country. This is what makes Indian elections democratic. This makes Indian elections democratic. What makes? That in India, the result of the elections prove that this is the choice of the people. Yet, the picture looks different if we ask deeper questions. Are people's preferences based on real knowledge? Are the voters getting a real choice? Is election really level playing field for everyone? Level playing field means equal for everyone, fair for everyone. Can an ordinary citizen hope to win elections? Questions of this kind bring the many limitations and challenges of Indian elections to our attention. These include candidates and parties with a lot of money may not be sure of their victory, but they do enjoy a big and unfair advantage over smaller parties and independents. In some parts of the country, candidates with criminal connection have been able to push others out of the electoral race and to secure a ticket from major parties. Some families tend to dominate political parties. Tickets are distributed to relatives from these families. Very often, elections offer little choice to ordinary citizens, for both the major parties are quite similar to each other, both in policies and practice. Smaller parties and independent candidates suffer a huge disadvantage compared to bigger parties. So all these things show that still we can't say that elections are purely democratic, purely free and fair. These challenges exist not just in India but also in many established democracies. These deeper issues are a matter of concern for those who believe in democracy. That is why citizens, social activists and organizations have been demanding reforms in our electoral system. Can you think of some reforms? What can an ordinary citizen do to face these challenges? Okay, so with this question, with this important question, this chapter comes to an end. So what did we read basically on this page? That although if you ask whether the elections in India are democratic, by and large they are. Elections are mostly conducted in a free and fair manner, in a democratic way. The rules are very strict, made by the Election Commission, and more or less every guideline is followed also. But still, there are some challenges which the country faces, and many questions have to be answered. In order to make the elections more democratic, in order to make elections more fair, many questions have to be answered, and the people have to see, the people have to find out ways and means. What kind of reforms can be introduced to make elections more democratic? What ordinary citizens can do to overcome these problems, like the richer parties or the parties which have more power, they get more privilege during elections. Candidates who have lot of money or parties who have lot of money, they have more advantage over some such parties which are smaller and independent. Then there are some families who dominate the elections. Tickets are distributed among these relatives. Very often elections offer little choice to ordinary citizens, for both the major parties are quite similar to each other in their policies and practices. So when the citizens don't get much choice, then sometimes they vote for a wrong party. So how can these problems be overcome? How can these challenges be overcome? This is a major question which has still to be answered. We the citizens also have the duty to find answers to these questions, to find solutions to these problems, so that elections in India can be made fair and more democratic. Okay children, so now one thing more, as I have told you earlier also, there are some words which have been described on page number 74 of your textbook. You must read them very carefully. Although generally you are not asked to write these in the exams, but still if a simple definition of 1 mark or 2 mark comes in the exam from this part of the page, then at least you should be able to write the definition in your own words. So you should read what is written in red and what meaning has been described, so that you can attempt the question. Okay, now read this chapter very carefully, because as I have told you, the chapter is very important. Read everything. When you will read, you will find many lines which you may not have marked till now. Underline those sentences, and if you think that a particular question can be framed, you can make your own questions and write on that page, so that when you will prepare for the exam, it will be very convenient for you. Okay children, now I am finishing my chapter here. Thank you.